Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around the world. My friends, my colleagues, my guests, my family, everybody I know around the globe. I would like, first of all, during this first video, to thank you so much for following my new channel on YouTube. It was not easy to start a channel because being at my age, to tell you the truth, I'm far away from technology. I'm far away from social media as well. I'm an old-fashioned person. But of course, being surrounded by your children, they always insist to share my experience in the field of tourism as a tour guide and a tour leader over 4 decades, with people, at least, to leave a legacy, an important legacy of 2/3 of my age, actually. When I first started in the 80s, I never had an idea that I would be spending as much time as I did in tour guiding, but I ended up, after 4 decades, quite satisfied about my experience in tourism, in this field, which is like an ocean. When you dive in it, you'll find a lot of secrets, a lot of interesting experiences that I have gone through from day one till today. Of course, tour guiding is an important job. It is qualified as ambassadors. Each tour guide around the world is an ambassador to his country or for his country to other countries. And of course, to achieve that title, which is it's actually a novel title and a title of honor, you need to be qualified for that. And you don't get qualified in the first 5 or 10 years because you need a lot of work to do. You need a lot of stress sometimes to reach that title and to be qualified enough to represent your country, to share the love of your country with other people. So the idea of creating this channel is actually to go through an important experience of tour guiding in Morocco, in this beautiful kingdom, which offers a lot to its visitors. And my kids, as I said, kept all the time asking me about my job. What are the negative things about my job? What are the positive things about my job? Why I have been absent many times for weeks and weeks before coming back home. What is so important about that, to leave your family behind and all your life and spend part of your life with different people from all over the world. I can tell you that tourism is just like a little village. It's grouping the whole world in a little village because it's, for me, like a bridge that connects people all around the world. And even more now with the updates with the technology, it's becoming even smaller. So my kids actually insisted, and I'm not good at these gadgets, to actually start a channel or go through all this. But I was convinced at the end, why not? There are a lot of people who want to know, who have been asking, among them my guests, about my career, how I started, when I started, is it a full-time job, it is a part-time job, what are the good things you had during your tours, what are the bad things. Some people will qualify a tour guide like just a storyteller, maybe a clown sometimes. Some people would make a fan of a tour guide being a clown. or being just a storyteller. Well, I can tell you it's more than that, because the job is a very, very difficult and serious job. A guide is a physical person with many talents. He's a story narrator, he's a geographer, he's a philosopher, he's a doctor, he's a travel agent, he's hotel manager. He is everything that you may imagine or not, because a guide is the only physical person that people trust after paying all their money to go on holidays and then planning their holidays maybe sometimes for years and expecting to be lucky to have a good guide that will be actually showing them the beauty of the country that they visit and to inform them about everything, every detail that concerns that country and even more. Because sometimes discussions will go further than that and will open parentheses to talk about politics, about religions, about, anything you can imagine. As you know, when you lead a tour as a tour leader for a week or for 2 weeks or even more, and you have a group of people with different activities. Some of them are lawyers, some of them are nurses, some of them are mechanics, some of them depending on the different activities of people you have in the bus. And as a tour guide, as a tour leader, you have to be qualified enough to come up with all the answers for their questions. Of course, this seems very difficult, sometimes even very crazy to think about a guide being a walking encyclopedia, but it's not. Because this is an experience that you gain throughout the years of work and throughout, of course, meeting people, because before all, it's a job of interaction with people. You do not only give information, but you receive more. And that's how you build up your knowledge to be able to talk to people, to be able to convince people, to be able to be a good analyst in different subjects. So I guess it's the same feeling for a lot of guides around the world, because myself, I started this job in the 80s. It was never ever a choice. I never thought one day that I will end up having a microphone, being in a bus or in a van, going with people. In fact, it was humiliating in the place where I come from, because at the time when I started, everybody was looking down at me, as it was the case for many of my colleagues, at least in Morocco, in the 80s and 90s, where the job was looked down on. And because people in our language, they say, Mr. Mohammed is following tourists. This is actually the identity people give you without even knowing what is the responsibility that you're carrying. They ignore that it's not you that follow people, but it's people that follow your lead. And when you've got to be a leader, you've got to be a very, very good leader to be able actually to get that title of honor, which is the title of ambassador. So my first video is just an introduction of a tour guide in Morocco, in the Kingdom of Morocco. And if you don't know where is Morocco and you're following my channel, it's actually the Kingdom of Morocco in the northwest of Africa, one of the eldest kingdoms in the world, dating back from the 9th century. There is a lot to share with you. There is a lot to tell you. There is a lot to actually give you a close idea about tour guiding and about the experience of tour guiding, through which I will talk a little bit about my country, my people, my beloved guests that I have taken care of. I'm sure that I forgot a lot of names, but I actually was really happy and surprised at the same time when the earthquake of Marrakesh happened last month. And I got this hundreds and hundreds of emails from people that I guided 20 years ago, 30 years ago, asking about me and my family. What a pleasure. What a real pleasure. What a big pleasure to have people having thoughts of you and about you. And of course, and keeping that for many, many years. This is one of the good things that keeps me, encourages me, gives me more will, more courage to continue on what I'm doing as a tour guide. My experience as a tour leader and a tour guide in Morocco is also the experience of many of my colleagues. Some of them passed away, some of them are still around, and some of them are new. It is also a guideline for the new guides who have just became guides and have just got their permission and their badges to become guides, to learn from the experience of people like me, people who have been in this job for 4 decades. Dear followers, thank you so much. I will be coming back to you from time to time, sharing some of my experiences. And I would like you, please, to share this with your friends, with your colleagues. Be connected to my channel because you will hear a lot of nice things and a good experience of about 40 years. Thank you very much. My name is Mohammed Bouchab, if you don't know me, and I live in the city of Marrakesh, in this beautiful red town. And today is actually an important day in Marrakesh because it's the 9th of October 2023 and the first day of the annual meeting of the World Bank Group in Marrakesh, which is a big event that is hosting actually 14,000 people. More to come. Thank you so much and stay well. All the best.